Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are. Today, or in this video, I want to talk about the magic of the Gate 54, the Marian Maiden in traditional human design, and the Divine Muse in quantum human design. The reason I'm talking about it is A, because it's my conscious sun, and I want to talk about it from my own embodied wisdom over the last 6 years of embodying my design. And I also want to talk about it because it's fresh in my mind, having expressed this information yesterday to somebody who had a HD business blueprint, Laurel, and we went into the reason I was zooming in on that in her reading was because it's her third line, and where we have a third line in an open center is somewhere that we can actually, it's our material way, it's our profit potential. So what is beautiful about the 54 on a personal level and on a so there's levels to business, right? There's levels to creating business and life by design. So one of the levels is embodiment, living your design and giving yourself that freedom to create in timing. So when you live your design and you embody all of the aspects and you're actually making decisions based on your intuition and your strategy and in your essence, there's this energy of beingness. So for a projector, one of the qualities and one of the ways that you thrive in the third dimension is by embodying your design. Embodiment is not just about practicing what you preach. In that sense, embodiment is really about the state of being that you're living, breathing, living and being and doing life. So when you see an embodied projector, you see one who is at peace. You see somebody who is in their power. You see somebody who is not comparing themselves, but they're living and making choices and decisions in their own flow. And actually, I had a beautiful conversation with one of our community members yesterday, and Della Rose. And she's got 6124, and she's been on this massive ascension journey. She's an astrologer, she's a quantum interior designer, she's a mystic. And we touched base, and she was like, and she's a 1-3, and she's like, my path is, and she's an individual. She's like, my path is just my path. I try things, they get them wrong, but I have to do things my own way. And that is 100% the truth. And I think that really captures the essence as well of being a projector in business. You can learn the knowledge, the skills, the tools that you need, the multiple things that make up a holistic approach to being successful in an online business. But ultimately, you're going to have to find your way. And I think that is one of the most beautiful gifts that the HD Business Blueprint can give you, because you start to decondition and stop letting the not self themes really control how you're operating, and so that you can come into yourself and start finding your own rhythm. But that's not what I wanted to talk about. The 54. One of the brilliant things about the 54 is that it is based in a pressure center. And it does have this pressure to rise up. There is a storyline and a theme about the 54, which is very material. And it's rooted in a desire to rise up the hierarchy. And this is truth. It's about ambition, aspiration. It's about drive. It's about wanting to be successful both on a spiritual level and a material level, depending on your personal experience and evolutionary journey this lifetime. For me, it has definitely been the case. Having been someone who rose up into leadership, into education, type A personality, when I was living in my not self themes of that open route and allowing that route to drive me to taking stimulants and not knowing when enough was enough from my sacral and all of the story, being the slave, and truly was plugged into that slave mentality. To coming out and literally I said to Laurel yesterday, I amble, I literally walk, I don't operate in urgency. So you'll know you have deconditioned that open root center when you're not responding immediately, when somebody asks you to do something and you feel no pressure whatsoever to just get up and do it, to get it out of the way. But also know that if you are operating, if your to-do list is driving you and doing you, then you know that your open route is playing the show. Your mind is attaching and identifying to that pressure, and it's making you do something automatically. But the more centered you are in your power, and the more you've observed and developed that witness, and you've actually unwound, actually, for me, it doesn't affect me anymore. So the 54, one of the most powerful things about really embodying and living your 54 is understanding its connection to intuition and its connection to the pulse of nurturing an inspired idea. All the way through my development of my business and my new career path, because I was at the top of my game. When I left teaching, I as a 1-3, I was there. I had all of the foundational knowledge. I was an expert. I was a pioneer. I had everything. And then it's like snakes and ladders. I decided to give away all of my possessions. I stripped myself bare, had this awakening, this spiritual awakening. My consciousness expanded, and suddenly I was starting from zero. And there were reasons for that. There were reasons to do with my own dharma, my own trajectory, what I'm here to teach, and the obstacles I'm here to overcome, and the soul contracts that I'm here to, to develop, and whatever. So I basically started from zero again. And over that period of 6 years, so 2019 up until now, it's been deconditioning, it's been developing energy mastery, metaphysics, and online business. Because the 54 is facing the spleen. And when we have that gate energy moving into the spleen, what we're looking at is somebody who is here to have insider knowledge. They're having subject-specific knowledge or specialism that they are able to give consultancy on to help that people, whether it's a business, whether it's a personal person, to survive and thrive. So part of the reason why it's great for Laurel, and she has an open spleen, her offer is actually all about, at the moment, it's all around detoxing, and it's all about really looking after your body. I have a defined spleen. So I was again talking to her yesterday about how important it is for people with open spleens to educate those with those definitions, because we can just abuse our bodies. Like, we can overdrink, take so much drugs, and we can really not understand the importance until it's too late of wellness and self-care. Obviously, I take Shilajit. I've actually just started exercising because for me, exercise is actually super important. It helps me get present. It helps me develop ideas. But I wasn't someone who loved exercise all my life. My friend used to call me languid. It's like, I don't like to do too much. But it is really, really, really effective for me, for my mental clarity, for my drive and my intuition. Anyway, moving back. So the 54, it's moving into the spleen. So we know that part of her material way and profit potential, and the same for me, is about developing that insider knowledge, and however that, but for me it's human design. For her it might be understanding psychology, or detoxing, or health and wellness in a certain way. For me, it's about developing. So in previous life, I was actually giving insider knowledge to schools, where I brought a school from requires improvement into good by implementing a whole culture, a whole curriculum, and meeting and developing the staff so that and developing systems so that the school could actually meet the criteria of the Ofsted, so that they could get the result. That's me having that insider knowledge and being able to guide. The problem there was that I was doing the work. I wasn't in right relationship with work. So if you have that 54 and you're here to really develop a solid foundation in specialism, some specialist knowledge, that you're going to help people either to survive or thrive, whether that's business consultancy, whether that's human design to get into energetic alignment, whatever, you can see that that is a pathway for you. So the 54, on a personal level, that's the business side of things. So, you know, it's my conscious sun, it's her 51-3, and we know that it's leading into the spleen, so where the openness is, it's giving us a lot of insight. Then we have to take into account our personal experiences. I've given you an example of mine. But one of the most amazing things about living with that 54 is timing. So when you understand that you get an inspired idea, so back in 2021 I was dreaming about Penta. I was dreaming about Penta. I was dreaming about projectors and guiding projectors and using human design. And I think many of you have heard the story where I say I rejected learning human design because I was like, hang on a minute, I built 7 years, I built mastery in a career, and now you want me to build and take the time. I'm 26% one line in my chart, you know, so for me, and I'm integration, so for me to build that level of expertise and knowledge and to study a whole system like human design and gene keys, I was like, what? I'm going to spend my whole lifetime in poverty basically because I have to master this thing. But that's not true. That was my fears, you know, the fear of the spleens, and sometimes that fear can prevent you. The 50, fear of responsibility, the 57, fear of the future, you know, not taking action on things that you know you need to do in order to create the life you need to create. And the 54 is all about nurturing the inspired idea and laying the energetic foundations for that right action. And I talk about it as being like a panther. Like, I find that when I get an idea and I take the actions and nurture it, plant it, you know, I talk about bamboo season, the story of the bamboo, where the guy is planting a bamboo and 5 years he's out there nurturing, watering it, letting the sun on it. People are walking past and laughing and saying, like, look at you out there, 5 years, nothing's happened. And then boom, psh, the bamboo just shoots up 90 feet tall in 5 days. And so the question is, was it 5 days or was it 5 years? And that's the same as that 54. And it doesn't have to be 5 years. What I'm saying is that when you understand how to work with the energy of 54, things can happen quantum, like very quickly, or they can take their time. But what happens is you don't control outcomes anymore. You don't have this pressure like, I have to do it now, or I'm running around like a demented fucking rabbit. Like, you are chill. You know that you're taking the right action, and you know that right people, right places, right timing is going to show up for you. So that's the beauty of mastering the energy and working with that. And I have a deep sense of timing. Another example with this is the Projector Success Hub. So 2022, I was taking my one line research and learning and whatever, and working with a projector and doing a long-term 6-month work on messaging, on content creation and stuff like that. And that had come about because I had, again, in the August of 2022, I was getting this it was 2021. The August of 2021, I was dreaming, like, you need to work with healers, because I was a healer. You need to work with projectors who are wanting to build an online presence and make money, because so take that information. And so I started taking the information, doing my research, nurturing energetically, setting the foundations, and boom, by December, a projector had invited me. So that external synchronicity has shown up. And this is what I mean about energy. And it's the same with LinkedIn. Okay, no, I didn't finish. So it's the same as with the Projector Success Hub. So by 2022, I got the insight to just do a few videos. I'm tentatively moving out there, building my authority. And I got a few ideas to put videos out on YouTube. And I've made most of my money from YouTube, from just a very few videos. But the story about that was I was getting quite a lot of projectors coming to me from YouTube, but I didn't have a place for us all to build community. As a values person in my environment, I'm here to nurture community, build community. I love to exchange ideas. I'm a teacher. 45 is my North Node. So there's all this stuff, and it's like patience, build, nurture, integrate, take time. And you can do things as quickly or as slowly as you like in alignment with your pace and your own pathway. But the beauty of being in awareness is you are in power. Like, you are able to be at peace with the process. So what happened was I got then the impulse, okay, start the Projector Success Hub. So I'd opened it, I created the group, I think it was like the March. I didn't open it until the November of 2022. And then I was going to launch content sales, and I'd been doing this mastermind. And so I built again my evidence, my testing, my trialing. I knew certain things were working. And so then I launched a soul map, and I made like $5,000 in just a few weeks and just like a few posts. And then I got tired, and it was about going away again, building up. And so all of this journey has been really great example of how my 54 works for me. I have now just set up a group which is private. I haven't publicized it yet because I'm nurturing the energy, and it's the Sovereign CEO Collective, because that is the trajectory that I'm moving in. And it's for generators, it's for projectors, it's for soul-driven leaders, it's for people that are wanting to have self-actualized business. It's really, really focused, and it's taking all of that work and all of that knowledge and all of that foundations that have been set already to the next level, that next version of me as a coach, as a teacher, as a leader. So that was this was really just a video to talk about how powerful it is to really understand yourself and understand how the aspects in your chart, and zooming in on particular placements, how living your design is really the foundation of a self-actualized business, and how it can help you in, because I want to help people to create sustainably. I want to help people to create wealth and well-being. I'm not here to do old ways. I've done the old way of drive and push and force. I'm here to teach people how to flow over force, how to work with the hidden energies of their chart, and to live in alignment, to actually flow, to find flow, to find contentment, to find peace, to develop a sense of glowing in a knowing. So that's really the core of my work. Anyway, mwah.